We've been talking about our generosity initiative called Love at First Sight for the last couple of weeks. We've talked about some of the different goals we have for the initiative. We have several goals. Our main goal, however, is to grow our congregation's culture of generosity. Like every aspect of our discipleship and following Jesus, it's like being on a journey of faith, and we hope to take the next right step to grow in our generosity and in our faith in God.
And Will, I love the idea that this is a journey. But because when we're on a journey, we're always moving. In a journey, we can go forward and we can come back. But the idea of generosity as a journey, and so as we've thought about that, there are some very unique ways that we can begin that journey. One is, if you've never given before and God is working in your heart, you initially give. And let me assure you that those initial givers that we have along this journey are some of the most powerful witnesses and stories that we have along this journey. So if you've never given, we would encourage you to initially give to God.
Maybe you're at a place in your life where you're ready to take a next step. Or the place where you are right now is you are a consistent giver, which is to say you consistently, on a regular basis, make a gift to God's work of mission and ministry in the church. Maybe that looks like bringing the same amount of money every Sunday when you come to worship. Maybe for you it looks like whenever that paycheck comes around, an automatic fund transfer takes some portion of your paycheck and gives that to God's mission and ministries in the church. But whatever it is, you're consistent about it. It's a thing that's regularly part of your life.
And then, so we've gone initial, and then we've gone consistent, and then along this journey, after we initially jump on the path and we consistently give, then God works in our hearts, I think, sometimes, and we become even more intentional about our giving. And that intentional giving means that I am thinking when I get paid, when money comes to me, I am intentionally giving to God. The same way I intentionally give to Visa or MasterCard or Ford Credit or whatever credit we have, we intentionally pay that every month. And so for us, this intentional is we're beginning, that generosity and that generous heart begins to be very intentional.
And then maybe you're at a place where you're going to take an even greater step of faith and be a sacrificial giver. I love this moment in the Bible where King David says that he's not going to give something to God that doesn't cost him anything. Giving to God is costly for us. Sometimes that means giving up something that we really enjoy or really desire. Maybe it looks like putting off an expenditure that we've been planning for so that we can give even more to God. But we find that in the sacrifice that we make, there's even greater joy in our generosity and in our giving to God.
And along that sacrificial kind of idea, along this pathway, this journey that we're on, I think as we think about our lives and we think about the footprint, that was popular a few years ago. Mm-hmm. What footprint are you leaving in your community? And as we think about that footprint, I think as we continue this journey, we begin to think about a lifetime of giving. Mm-hmm. And for me, that looks like, my lifetime. How am I giving to God? How is my generous heart and that culture of generosity lived in my life? That may mean, I think, yearly, as I'm planning out a budget, what impact I can have, what footprint I can leave for God here. And it may mean as I even grow older and start thinking about, the kingdom after this, what imprint and what footprint can I leave when my estate could leave to God. And so you know, this is a journey, and like I said, this journey will, I think sometimes we initially get on that, and we kind of go along the path for a while, and then things happen and we may back up and we may begin all again. But for me, this culture of generosity is the most important thing. And I encourage, and we encourage all of you to at least get on the path, this pathway of generosity. And we thank you for the way that you show the love of Jesus Christ in this church and throughout this community and even throughout the world. Thank you.